नमस्कार, मैं हूं राम बाबू और आप देख रहे हो सत्यभाष्य। चातुर्वर्ण्यम मया सृष्टम गुणकर्म vibhajasaha. These are the words Lord Krishna was trying to tell Arjuna about how he has created four varnas depending on their Gunas: Tamasic, Rajasic, Satvic. But the fifth varna, called the untouchables or the depressed class or the scheduled caste or scheduled tribe, is a discovery or the gift given to us by Lord Presley exactly around 110 years back. How many of us are even aware that Shudras are not SC/STs? How many of us are aware that Shudras ran the industries in which they have given employment to both Brahmins, Vaishyas and the Kshatriyas as well? We have been kept in dark. The English started their class of ruling from 1600 until 1757. They were like the water under the carpet. 1757, after the first revolt, then they started establishing their iron foot on all of us. Then the slowly bifurcation of this country started step by step. Until 1870s, they didn't know from where to start and what to do. Then an anthropologist called Lord Presley, he commenced the social experiment called caste-based census. And even after 15 years, they just couldn't go anywhere while enumerating. They tried the alphabetical order, they tried the hierarchical order and all that stuff. Finally, in 1901, Lord Presley decided to do the social engineering on the Indians. The first statement that has been written down is caste is equal to racial hierarchy. In 1871, one Sir W.R. Cornish, who was a civil servant in Chennai, trying to do the duties of enumeration of the caste-based census, had to write whether there was ever a period in which the Hindus were composed of the four varnas as written by the Manu Shastra, which means that there was hardly any discrimination between the various varnas because everybody was happy, everybody were wealthy, and nobody felt somebody else is interfering into their works or dictating their works. Similarly, C.F. Magrath, who was in the Bihar province, which was a combination of now Chhattisgarh, Jharkhand and parts of UP. In 1871, he says, now the meaningless division into the four castes alleged to have been made by the man should be put aside. He is also convinced there is no caste discrimination within the Indians until 1871, 1872. So, which means that for their ease of ruling, they tried to put a strong wedge in between all of us, and they started this social engineering called caste is equal to racial hierarchy. And then they trained the local officers, most of them were Indians, supervised by the English. They parroted the answers of what caste they should be put into. And that's how by 1901 to 1910, ultimately they have drawn the lines on the basis of caste. Let me bring to you the attention of an author called Susan Balay. She is a researcher from UK, and she has penned down a book on Indian castes and religious concerns. She writes in her memoirs in the books that until 18th century, much of the subcontinent was still populated by people for whom the formal distinction of caste were of limited importance, even in the so-called Hindu Heartland. So these were the writings. If you go back to the writings of Yun Sang, the travelers from China, the travelers from Far East, from Italy and other places, they never said that there was untouchability. So slowly in the social engineering, they started writing a class called depressed classes. 1911, the depressed classes were defined. And slowly the nationalist leaders under the Congress who felt that they should be governing this country under the rule of the Union Jack, they took up the cause of depressed classes. 1921, they have declared untouchability official. With a very big heart, Mahatma Gandhi had to accept it, and he toyed a word called Harijans in 1931. Until then, we didn't have Harijans, untouchability, or whatever. From then on, we have been put into this caste basis, and then our divisions really started. For them, it was only an ease of ruling. For them, it was to ensure that these guys don't get united to defeat us. Today, after independence, our own leaders have divided us further so much by giving reservations to these untouchables. The so-called untouchables which were not present 120 years back. So, gentlemen, this is a wake-up call. Varnas are there, will be there because of our practices, because of our trades that we have taken up, because of our skills that we have. A cobbler still can go back to his chappals, or he can go back to trading something else. A Yadava can become a trader. A Yadava can become a Kshatriya. Because the army has a lot of Yadavas. The goldsmiths are now the stockbrokers. The teachers are mostly the Shudras. So, this were existing earlier also. This will still exist. So, let's unite under the banner of Sanatana Dharma. That's the only thing which will take us forward. Enough of this bashing of caste, enough of this bashing of SC, ST, which were not there until 120 years back. So, I am trying to do my 2 cents of work. I would request you all to go through the books written by Sanjeev Sanyals, Rajiv Malhotras, Sai Deepaks, and so many local authors in your own lingo. Please go through them, spend some time. Try your bit to revive your dharma. Try your bit to save the country. Bharat Mata ki Jai. If this is the first time you are listening to Satya Bhashyam, I would welcome you to like, subscribe, press the bell icon and share the video. Till the next video I remain, Rambabu Cheruvu, Hyderabad.